Good morning and welcome to 7 at 7 from the Economic Times podcasts, a daily financial news capsule to get you clued in for the day. It's Wednesday, the 16th of October, and I am your host, Bhaskar Datta. Let's start with news from the world. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump defended his protectionist trade stance and hit back at suggestions that his plans could push the US government debt, strain relations with allies, and hurt the world's largest economy. In an interview with Bloomberg's editor-in-chief, Trump said that his proposed policies, which include imposing hefty tariffs on not only Chinese goods, but those from the European Union, would boost US manufacturing and garner sufficient revenues to offset wider deficits, global reports said. Meanwhile, benchmark US equity indices ended lower on Tuesday, with chip stocks and shares of energy companies falling sharply due to concerns over global demand amid an ailing Chinese economy. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 324.80 points, or 0.75%, to 42,740.42. The S&P 500 lost 44.59 points, or 0.76%, to 5815.26. And the Nasdaq Composite lost 187.10 points, or 1.01%, to 18,315.59. In the latest developments on the West Asia crisis, the US has told Israel it must take steps in the next month to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza or face restrictions on US military aid, US officials said according to a Reuters report. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin wrote to Israeli officials on Sunday, demanding concrete measures to address the worsening situation in the Palestinian enclave amid a renewed Israeli offensive in northern Gaza, the report said. US officials also said on Tuesday that Washington opposed the scope of Israel's airstrikes in Lebanon over the past few weeks amid an escalating death toll and concerns over a wider conflict in the region, reports said. Turning to news at home, state government-controlled ports, which collectively handle around half of India's total cargo movement, have submitted capacity expansion plans worth over 2 lakh crore rupees to the centre, said officials aware of the matter. These non-major ports will supplement India's plans to increase handling capacity by 4 times to 10,000 million tons per annum by 2047. Gujarat aims to develop integrated port cities with an estimated investment of 1.5 lakh crore rupees, the people cited above said to ET. If there's one topic that's always in the news, it's job creation. And here's something that could provide a boost on that front. Salt to steel conglomerate Tata Group plans to create 500,000 jobs over the next 5 years, backed by large investments in manufacturing facilities for semiconductor chips, batteries, electric vehicles, and precision manufacturing, amongst others. Tata Sons chairman N. Chandrasekaran said on Tuesday. He said he expects a minimum of 500 to 1,000 more companies, which will be small and medium-scale ones, to be set up. He pointed out that with 1 million people joining the workforce every month, India has the potential to become the human resource capital of the world. Amid recent social media controversies about customer services, Ola Electric is in troubleshooting mode. The electric two-wheeler market leader has engaged EY India for a service transformation amid mounting after-sales service issues, a barrage of consumer complaints, and declining sales volumes, ET has learned. The global consulting services firm is likely to advise the Bhavesh Agarwal-run startup on a whole host of service-related aspects of the business, from streamlining business processes to stocking and inventory management of spare parts. Close to a dozen executives from EY came on board at Ola Electric a few weeks ago on deputation for the 3-month project, the tenure of which can be extended depending on the outcome. Here's the latest on the government's Make in India push. State-owned BEML will build India's first indigenously manufactured bullet train for a total contract value of 866.87 crore rupees. Indian Railways Production Unit Integral Coach Factory has placed an order with BEML for design, manufacturing and commissioning of 2 high-speed train sets with 8 cars each, BEML said in a statement to exchanges. The company said that these trains will be priced at 27.8 crore rupees per coach. The total contract value includes design cost, one-time development cost, non-recurring charges, and one-time cost towards jigs, fixtures, tooling, and testing facilities. The global bond market volatility of the last few days has spilled over into Indian debt deals, it seems. Adani Green Energy, India's largest private sector renewable power company, late on Tuesday called off its $1.2 billion bond issue after investors demanded a higher yield than what the company was ready to offer, ET has learned. This is the first instant of an Adani company withdrawing from the dollar bond market after launching an issue. The company had built a $1.6 billion order book with large investors from Hong Kong, Switzerland, and the US committing funds. But due to uncertainties linked mostly to the US elections, investors were pricing in more risk, which would cost the company 50 to 75 basis points more than a normal 20-year bond. The company hence decided to defer this issue and look at a better time in the second or third week of November or mid-January. That's all for today. Thank you very much for tuning into 7 at 7 from the Economic Times podcasts.